So, some bad news for Microsoft and for Xbox fans. This is very interesting because it's kind of the story that just won't go away. And I'm very interested in hearing what a lot of people have to say about it. I want to get into it. I'll give my thoughts on it, but let's get into the story right away. I'm Crap Gamer. This is, of course, Crap Gamer Reviews. I do daily video game content. So if you guys enjoy the content, please leave a like on the channel. So this is FTC issues, right? FTC is back on the warpath claiming Xbox's Game Pass price hike is consumer harm that it warned people about. So the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, has called Microsoft's recently announced Game Pass price rises exactly the sort of consumer harm it tried to stop by fighting the company's acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Now, following a court victory for Microsoft last year, which the FTC is currently appealing, the corporation completed its $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard in October of 2023. The agency is continuing to submit evidence while an appeal is actually considered, and in a new filing this past week, it highlighted Microsoft's new Game Pass tiers, which include a price increase for Ultimate and new Standard tier that doesn't include day one releases. This is what they say, and I quote, "Product degradation is removing the most valuable gains from Microsoft's new service, combined with price increases for existing users, is exactly the sort of consumer harm from the merger that the FTC has alleged. Microsoft's price increases and product degradation, combined with Microsoft's reduced investments in output and product quality via employee layoffs, are the hallmarks of a firm exercising market power post-merger." The FTC's letter goes on to note that Microsoft's price increases coincide with adding Call of Duty to Game Pass, their most expensive tier, and discontinuing the console tier will happen shortly before releasing Call of Duty's newest game. It notes that Microsoft promised that the acquisition would benefit consumers by making Call of Duty available on Microsoft's Game Pass on the day it released on console, with no price increase for the service based on the acquisition. The agency concludes by claiming that Microsoft's most post-merger actions vindicate its earlier skepticism of promises it made regarding Game Pass. Previously, the FTC alleged that Microsoft's decision to make mass layoffs earlier this year contradicted previous statements it made in court about how it planned to run the Xbox business once it acquired Activision Blizzard. Microsoft's lawyers later responded to the FTC claim, saying its factually assertions are incomplete and misleading. From this month, Xbox Top Game Pass Ultimate tier will increase in price to $19.99 per month, up from $16.99. PC Game Pass will also increase to $11.99. Significantly, Microsoft has retired its Game Pass for console tier for new users. This will soon be replaced by a new $14.99 standard tier, which will include access to a back catalog of games and online play, but no day one releases or cloud gaming. So, again, it's all very interesting to see that this is happening. To say that, here's the thing, right? Like, I remember at the time I was pretty pro Microsoft getting this. I was like, hey, it's cool. They'll be able to get, all these IP. They can bring these IP back. But it doesn't look like they'll bring back anything. It's like, I admit, they kind of fooled me. I think they fooled a lot of people. And then they did flat out promise that they wouldn't, in fact, go out and raise prices on Game Pass. And they've raised prices twice. Pretty much since that particular point, which is really weird, in my opinion, because, you don't really have to do that. Like, if you're trying to gather people to your service or whatever, it doesn't make sense to raise a bunch of prices. Like, here's the thing. As a console owner and a person who is subscribed to Game Pass, they've raised the price $5 a month over the last 18 months, right? So you can imagine stuff like that continuing to happen, and it's really unfortunate that that would be a thing, because obviously you want gaming to kind of go along and do something that really kind of drives people or whatever, and the fact that that they kind of lied there multiple times really tells you what you need to know about a corporation. So I get it, every corporation lies. I think that that's just one of those things that honestly kind of happens, and there's not really much that you can do about it. But at the same time, I feel like Microsoft, a lot of people go, Microsoft is putting their games on PlayStation. It's a secret thing. Woohoo! This is like the deep state fanboys, right? And I'm an Xbox fan, but I'm not like this insane, right? So you have, you have people that really think like this, like, oh man, they're putting these games on PlayStation. It's really to lock down what the FTC is trying to claim. Woo woo woo. Then after they win that appeal, they're gonna go out and buy more content, and then they will be exclusive and things like that. It's like people really think this stuff, and it's like borderline insanity the way that this stuff comes up, because honestly, who the hell would really think that that could be a thing? Like that's like honestly, you have this multi-trillion-dollar company, and at the same time you have people that are invested in you know these types of situations, and then for what? At the end of the day, we're kind of getting screwed, and that's just really unfortunate because, like I said, gamers can be fickle, and you don't actually stick with with what people want, like that. People they want something that's going to be lasting. They want something that's going to be, there for the long haul. And Microsoft, with a lot of their moves and stuff, doesn't really come across as, a long haul company anymore. It's unfortunate, but, at the same time, we keep seeing that they really keep screwing up. And, when you see stuff like this happen, you go, okay, well, I don't really feel that this is something that could really change the future of gaming or whatever, but hopefully these things get worked out. I don't even know which side I'm on at this particular point with this. I think it's probably too late for them to take back any of the things, but at the end of the day, I feel like what ended up happening was it cost gamers, this whole Activision deal really cost gamers exclusives. If you're an Xbox exclusive, I don't feel like we would have been seeing the games on PlayStation like we have if it weren't for this type of situation, and that's unfortunate to me because I feel like you definitely need exclusive games if you're trying to sell people your hardware. So, it's really kind of unfortunate that this kind of stuff happens. Hopefully things get worked out that works for everybody or whatever, but it is sort of weird. And Microsoft did, in fact, lie with this whole situation, and that's really unfortunate in and of itself because let's just be real here, right? They sit there and they did something that probably nobody should expected them to do, which is they buy this company. They're like, okay, well, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to raise the prices. We're not going to do this. We're not going to screw over fans. We're not going to do any of this stuff, right? So they do all that stuff, and at the end of the day, they end up doing these things that they promised they wouldn't do. So it's really bad to say the least. But at the same time, I'm not exactly a person that's going to sit there and go, okay, well, you know what, this is this or this is bad, or this is this type of thing or that type of thing. Microsoft is going to have to pay the price of what they do, or they're going to end up losing their stuff. So hopefully we see these type of things in the future where things can kind of be worked out, but I'm not 100% sure they ever will be worked out. Microsoft has a lot of trust there that they need to earn with people or whatever, so I think that's something that needs to happen in the future. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm very interested to see how Microsoft handles this and the outcome of this. Maybe it's something that that changes overnight. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm very curious to see what happens, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are. How do you guys feel about this? If you're a fan, let me know. I'm very curious, like I said, because all of us were kind of, I think, thinking one thing or the other with this stuff, and then this kind of thing happens, and people kind of change their minds a little bit, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, like I said, all very strange, could lead to some significant things happening for Xbox. We'll see. But like I said, please leave a like if you enjoy the content. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will catch you next time. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Peace.